Ahead tonight, the Data Protection Commissioner issuing a warning to parliamentarians. Fire impacts communities near the New Providence landfill. And the Easter Monday Junkanoo Rush Out, a huge success. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The release of those emails in the House of Assembly reportedly involving the Save the Bays environmental organization could have some repercussions. Happy Easter Monday and good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Thanks so much for tuning in this holiday. Topping the news, the emails presented almost 2 weeks ago by the Member of Parliament for Marathon and the Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable Jerome Fitzgerald, were allegedly from the Save the Bays organization that he labeled as a political organization in disguise in a quest to dismantle the present administration. The Data Protection Commissioner issued a statement yesterday on the tabling of those emails. Now, we want to note that while Minister Fitzgerald presented the emails, Speaker of the House, the Honorable Dr. Kendall Major, has reserved his decision on whether or not they will be tabled in the House of Assembly. Janae Noel Ferguson leads us off tonight with the stern warning from the Data Protection Commissioner.
Data Commissioner Charmaine Farrington Austin is warning parliamentarians against the practice of tabling unauthorized emails in Parliament or releasing them. Marathon MP and Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald presented in Parliament emails allegedly between Save the Bays members who he claimed were on a mission to overthrow the Christie administration.
I have the information. It's in the government side interest to expose in depth the level of involvement of all of those involved in this Bahamian hustle who tried to undermine and overthrow a sovereign government. It's in our interest.
The Data Commissioner, however, warned that members of Parliament ought to be cognizant of the fact that members of the public expect their MPs will be held to the same standard as ordinary citizens in relation to the commission of a criminal offense. Now, she cautioned MPs against this practice of obtaining private citizen correspondence and tabling them in the House of Assembly. This, she said, in her view, is the most dangerous trend and opens up the society to chaos. Citizens, she said, have a right to expect that their private communications would enjoy protection afforded to them under the laws of this country. Now, under the law, documents tabled in the House enjoy parliamentary privilege. Therefore, the Data Commissioner is not the appropriate authority to make any ruling or comment. But if actionable, the issue as to whether emails can be legitimately determined as part of the proceedings of Parliament ought to be determined by a court of law. Further, she said certain aspects of this case appear to have national security implications. Now, while those named in the emails have not made an official complaint, the Data Protection Commissioner said the relevant data protection issue on the matter concerns whether persons gain unauthorized access to the said private emails before they were tabled in the House. To be clear, Farrington Austin said all persons found in breach of the law, provided that the prosecution can be made, minus evidence that was tabled in the House, is open to prosecution. Now, subsection 22 and 23 says personal data processed by a data processor shall not be disclosed by him or an employee or his agent without the prior authority of the data controller on behalf of whom the data is processed, and any person who knowingly contravenes subsection 1 shall be guilty of an offense. The Data Commissioner invited all parties concerned to make any representation they may have to her office while they await the police investigation to make any further determination in relation to this matter. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Marathon MP Jerome Fitzgerald responded in a statement today that there is no comment to make on the Data Protection Commissioner's personal views, except that no formal complaint has been received by her, and therefore her statement, he says, is indeed curious. Mr. Fitzgerald said the matter is not about unauthorized emails, but about a well-funded environmental organization that is not about the environment. But he says Save the Bays is about politics and destabilizing the government and has spent millions of dollars to do so. Fitzgerald said the Christie administration agrees that the Data Protection Privacy of Personal Information Act has no jurisdiction regarding statements and documents laid in Parliament. He continued that the matter has been formally referred to the Committee on Privileges that has the power to send for persons and papers. Minister Fitzgerald assured the public that no government member is a party to any, quote, unauthorized access to emails. As Minister Fitzgerald noted that this particular matter now rests with the police, the Office of the Attorney General, with a view to a possible IRS investigation into the use of millions of dollars of tax-exempt funds being used for political purposes in a foreign and sovereign country. He says it's ironic that the same people who are fighting for freedom of information and transparency are now running to court to stop the same freedom they were supposedly fighting for. In other news, fire is again raging at the New Providence landfill less than a month after officials contained flames that blazed for days. Police informed the media earlier this afternoon that 2 units were dispatched to the landfill's recycling plant as it was being threatened due to heavy heat and flames. ZNS News visited the site today and was not allowed on the property, but spoke with the Member of Parliament, Leslie Miller, who says the persistent problem has to be resolved. Cleopatra Murphy tells us more.
Clouds of smoke billowed and blanketed the air at the New Providence landfill Easter Monday morning, where ZNS News understands a large inferno has blazed since sometime after 11:30 p.m. Sunday. This recent blaze comes weeks after another inferno that raged for days and is not sitting well with Jubilee Gardens resident Deborah Benaby, who says she could not go to work because her chest felt constricted.
My chest was just tight. I couldn't get up. And it's starting to bother more than anything else. If you notice how I talk now, I still have the shortness of breath. Going to the doctor can't do nothing. All they're doing is give you a bunch of medication, and I can't continue taking them. I'm not 14 anymore. I'm an old woman now, and something needs to be done.
ZNS News caught up with Member of Parliament for Tall Pines Leslie Miller as he attempted to contact Renew Bahamas officials with no success. He says the fires that have occurred for more than 40 years are a health hazard, and government must step in with drastic measures to stop the problem.
I trust that the officials responsible, Mr. Ken Dawson, who's the Minister for the Environment, would visit the dump and come and see to it, sit with Mr. Cox and those guys, and come up with devise a comprehensive plan to have this matter addressed once and for all, that it could stop the burdens on the life of the ordinary Bahamians.
Smoke drifted into the surrounding communities where residents have expressed concerns that officials pay lip service but take no real action. Miller suggests unless security is beefed up, there is not much they can do to prevent arsonists from setting fires.
They normally would lit the tires, and I see a truck just now full of tires. I think what they need to do is stop having tires come to the dump or have a shredder plant at the dump so you can shred those tires, because those tires are used for road works, used for patios. You can put those in paint when you're making some special products. So we need now to have a shredding plant to stop all those tires from coming to the dump.
In a release by officials from Renew Bahamas, they said the landfill itself was not on fire, but areas next to the active landfill. They say fire crews were mobilized immediately to battle the blaze and will work 24 hours until it is suppressed. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Perry Gomez, and Pan American Health Organization representative Dr. Kathleen Israel, along with the PAHO Washington, D.C. team and senior health officials, met this morning to confirm that conclusive testing is being facilitated for a number of infectious diseases, including Ebola, through the Centers of Disease Control in the United States of America. This follows the Ministry of Health and its agencies, including the Public Hospitals Authority, Department of Public Health, and the Pan American Organization, maintaining that a suspected case of Ebola at the Princess Margaret Hospital here in New Providence is unlikely. A statement issued today confirmed that the patient, who passed away on Sunday evening, had traveled to Johannesburg, South Africa earlier this month. According to the World Health Organization, South Africa to date has had no reported cases of Ebola. The Ministry of Health confirmed that all standard protocols, including necessary protective measures in keeping with international guidelines, have been followed in the management of the patient at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The Ministry of Health will continue to work closely with PAHO and other international partners to ensure that effective measures are followed to safeguard the health of the public in accordance with international best practices. Well, as the government continues its quest to provide Bahamians with access to modern and affordable health care through the implementation of national health insurance, the Bahamas Union of Teachers joins various sectors of society closely monitoring the process. Acting Teachers Union President Zane Lightbourne told us the union fully supports universal health care as well as NHI once its members are properly covered under that plan.
This will take the burden of even some teachers. We're trying to help out family members who aren't covered. And so we want it to be implemented. We understand by our agreement that we signed that we will lose no benefits that we currently enjoy, and we'll pay no more than we currently pay. And so this is just an outline that our health insurance package is secure, and we're looking for improvements in that. And even after the implementation of NHI, we're looking for NHI to be an improved version where we can still see our private doctors, we can still get the same benefits and more, the things that we want added in there, that'll be added in. And also, the government will keep its obligation to pay 80% of the premium when it comes to our union members.
In the meantime, Mr. Lightbourne says the push continues for his 4,000-strong membership to get added benefits to its current medical insurance plan because the current scheme right now is not sufficient.
Teachers' children are not covered under this package. Family members are not covered under the package, and therefore, unlike other unions that have this benefit, we don't have that benefit. I understand there could be some improvement to the maternity part of the package. The majority of our teachers are female, vast majority, and they are impacted by health insurance more than anyone else. So we want the package to reflect the profession that we serve in, and so for teachers to get improved package.
A lot of excitement at the Crypto Swimming Championships. I'm Chris Saunders. Full highlights in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.